Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Caterina, or Cat, and this is Infinite Wellness Within. In today's Pick a Card reading, we are looking at your April 2026 insights. Once you choose your card, you can find the timestamps in the description box below, which will take you to your reading. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is also linked below. Please remember that is the only way to book any of my services with me. If anyone reaches out to you, just know that is not me. All right, so today I have the Emperor from 3 different decks because April is the 4th month and the Emperor is the 4th card in the major arcana of the tarot. So let me go through these for you. Group number 1, you have the Emperor from the Light Seer's Tarot. You also have the Red Tiger's Eye. Group number 2, you have the Emperor from the Wandering Star Tarot. And you also have the Ocean Jasper. Group number 3, you have the Emperor from the Wanderer's Tarot, and you also have the Orange Calcite. Please take your time choosing your card or cards. It is perfectly fine to choose more than one card. The most important thing is that you listen to your intuition, and I'll see you in your readings. Hello, group number 1. You have the Red Tiger's Eye, and this is your Emperor card from the Light Seer's Tarot. So I'll put this back in the deck, and we'll start with your Oracle cards. Spirit, what is the most important information from this deck for group number 1 regarding their April 2026 insights? All right, you have the Chipmunk and Laurel with success. All right, so you're off to a good start. So it looks like there's something that you're going to be doing or completing or making progress with in April that's going to be successful for you. So I do feel like for some of you, this might be like a small step towards something else, or it could be the final step, like something coming into place that you need to kind of get the ball rolling with something. So basically, if you've already been working on something, you're going to make some steps toward future success, like things are coming together for you. Some of you may just be getting the beginnings of an idea for something that's going to lead to something that's very successful for you in the future. Whatever it is, it's gaining strength. So that's really good news for you. Okay, so you have the Trout and Lily of the Valley Purification. All right, so something that could be going on here is you could be narrowing ideas down with the success card here. You could be finding what works for you, maybe eliminating certain things and adding other things. Maybe something hasn't been working for quite some time for you, and you're finally able to kind of see logically what is going to work for you going forward. There could be something with purification that is leaving your life that's going to kind of make room for you to focus on whatever this is over here. So I do get a sense of kind of having smooth sailing with something, because through your effort or through some sort of thought, like deep thought, or the universe kind of taking care of certain things for you that may have been roadblocks or that may have been distractions for you. Now you're able to really kind of focus and hone in on the important things in April. And I just feel like this is going to be a pretty productive time for you. What else can you tell us for group number 1? April 2026 insights. Conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. Yeah, I feel that they are. Because I feel, see, once again, so you have the trees here, and I feel that there was something going on with the purification card, something that was in between your like forward momentum, but something's shifting for you in April so that you can clearly see what the answers are. You can clearly see what the direction is, or any kind of roadblocks or confusion or setbacks or anything like that. Those are being removed for you. So definitely it feels like, you know, here you have purification and conclusions are within reach. You are absolutely getting closer and closer to being successful with something I feel is very important to you. Okay, a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. So there's definitely going to be balance that comes in for you. If any of you have anything legal going on, this has been coming up recently in the general readings, something to do with like legal or paperwork, or I mean, some of you may literally be in a legal situation, a court case, or something where you're trying to maybe get something certified or something like that, right? So it's just kind of like putting a stamp on something, or you're trying to win a legal battle, or, you know, something like that. So what I'm seeing here is that you will have a conclusion that happens because something here could be holding you up. So whatever's going on with these two cards could be limiting your success. It's like, well, I can only go so far right now. There's a roadblock here with the purification card that's going to be cleared up with the conclusions, and a win-win outcome is forecast. So these two cards to me are talking about a conclusion that's coming up for you in April. And then I feel that there's kind of like a new start for you. What else can you tell us for group number 1, please? All right, this card is really standing out to me. So you have North Node, Destiny, Purpose, Activation. This makes so much sense to me because something is shifting for you in April. It's like you're getting the green light to go ahead with something. You're finding the answers. You're receiving resolution to something that was preventing you from moving forward. And then you can move forward with your destiny, your purpose. Something is activated for you. So it's kind of like something is being turned on, like the switch is being flipped or something, but it feels like it's very, very important. It feels like it's kind of like a pivotal moment for a lot of you that opens that door for you to step into this success. I feel like some of you are just kind of shedding your skin with the purification here. You do have a trout here, but I'm feeling like, or actually I'm seeing a snake shedding its skin because before it feels like a sense of being trapped somewhere or in a situation that you didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but it looks like it's going to turn out in your favor. All right, what is important for group number 1 to know in April 2026, please? Thank you. Thank you. What else would you like to say? All right. So let's do it this way. Okay, so you have number 10, number 10. Yes, obviously it's number 10, but it's the 10 of Pentacles. All right, so what I'm seeing here is there seems to be some sort of celebration based on what's happened up here, especially with these two cards. Actually, it's actually all of these cards, but it really feels like these two are absolutely related to this. And it's interesting because here you have the pentacle here, and then obviously these are moons, but it's making me think of the pentacle here. So there could be something going on with your stability. Absolutely could have something to do with your family. But you feel there's a sense of renewal here. There's definitely a sense of success that's coming along with this. I feel there's also a celebration, and it has to do with some sort of outcome that you have here, something working out in your favor. So I feel that there's a celebration on a couple different fronts here. there's a celebration with winning something, something working out in your favor. And then there's also a celebration of being able to move forward with something, letting something go, something that I feel was causing anxiety, something that was just kind of leaving you in limbo a little bit. And that is going away. So that's really, really good news for you. And then I feel that after this purification, what's left over is you being able to build a life that is definitely connected to your purpose, to your destiny. It's like your future is activated. That's what I'm feeling here in April. Whatever it is, it's a pretty powerful shift. So the Eight of Wands, yeah. So the first thing, I'm definitely feeling there's some sort of celebration. I am feeling there could be some kind of communication that comes into your life regarding the outcome of something. And then it feels like things shift very, very quickly, very, very dramatically. So it feels like the purification happens pretty quickly for you, which is this card right here. Especially with the water, it feels like something is just kind of cleansing your fears away. And then you can basically move on with your life. I also feel like everything kind of comes together for you after this happens, whatever the outcome or the, finalization of something here. Then you can move on with things. You can move on with your life. You can breathe easier. You can think about your future, and you can think about, okay, now that I'm no longer kind of suspended in the air, I can think about where I'm going to kind of set my foundation, where I'm going to lay roots, what I'm going to do. And I do feel it, it feels like some of you feel like almost revitalized and focusing more on what is my purpose in life, because this turned out positively for you. Had it turned out the other way, I feel that you would have kind of been in a hermit mode for a while, trying to figure things out. It could have been kind of like a tower card moment where everything kind of came crashing down around you, but it's turning out positive. So you're like, okay, there's no time to waste. Let me get going on a purpose that I have. See, the Ace of Wands. All right, so basically everything that I just said applies to this card. It's like the fire is burning in your mind, in your, like the fire is lit underneath you to get started with things. And I feel there's a lot of things that you want to do. I feel that you're very, very grateful for something working out in your favor. And there's just this sense of, I don't want to waste any second. I don't want to waste any minute of my time. I want to just live in this sense of this feeling of gratitude. I want to get things going. And yeah, it's just like being given an opportunity with something, or perhaps being given a second chance at something. And yeah, that fire is definitely activated. The like emotional fire, passion for something. Okay, now see, you have the King of Wands. So definitely this win-win outcome for you. It has sparked a renewal in you, and it has given you strength with an idea that you have, strength with something that you want to accomplish in your life. I feel, this is a pivotal point in your life, because either way, whatever the outcome was, you were due for a pretty dramatic change in your life. And either way, you would have been okay. But I feel what's happening here is what you wanted to happen. And so because you didn't know what was going to happen, now that it did turn out in your favor, you're even more grateful for just life in general, it feels like. And so it just really feels like you have some sort of idea or plan about moving forward, and you cannot wait to get started. So it does feel like you are making plans for your future. And then the Ten of Cups. Look at how happy you are. There's such a sense of relief, a sense of feeling so much lighter. And it's interesting that here you have the Ten of Pentacles, and then you have the chipmunk here. which is, you know, an earth energy. And then here you have the purification card, and then you have the 10 of cups here. So both water energies, and definitely cleansing away your worries, your fears. Yeah, there's so much to celebrate. I feel like you might be getting together with family or friends to celebrate something, and it might be that only a small group of people know what's going on here. But everybody who does know is very, very grateful and very, very happy for the outcome of your situation. Yeah, so here you have the 9 of Wands. This was causing you so much anxiety, so much strife. It is interesting here because there's actually a bed here, like the outline of a bed, but I feel like the person isn't in the bed. So you feel like you were about to be displaced with something, or a huge dream wasn't going to come true. Whatever it was, it feels like it was completely out of your hands. It feels like you did everything that you could to achieve a positive outcome, but then it was out of your hands. So, and it's just like so much anxiety here. I feel like it was keeping you up at night. I feel like it would have been, in the beginning, absolutely devastating for you had this not turned out in your favor. But the thing with the 9 of Wands, this is just your fears. This is not an actualization or, you know, something actually coming true here. So some of you may have worked very, very hard towards something, and then you had no say about the final result. So for some of you, I'm seeing something like you were waiting to be chosen for something. So this could be chosen for a job. This could be if you took a big test and you were wondering, oh my gosh, did I pass? Like the rest of my life depends on me passing this test. Which still aligns with something being legal, because you could be receiving like a certification. You could be in line for a new job or a promotion, or, you know, anything like that. So yes, I do see it working out in your favor. All right, so you have the Tower card. Yeah. So this is what I was saying a little while ago. I think, was it with the 9 of Swords that I was saying this? It definitely might have been. Where if it didn't turn out in your favor, it would have been life-changing and it would have been devastating. Now, I do feel that things still would have worked out for you if you didn't have this win-win outcome here, but it's just not what you wanted. So what's interesting about the Tower card here is that this little guy here, is this a squirrel or a chipmunk? I think it's a squirrel. It looks bigger than a chipmunk, is very protected in here. And if you see, the lightning is only hitting the very top here, but what the lightning is creating is the butterflies. So this is a really interesting Tower card because, like I said earlier, either way, it still would have worked out for you, and either way, it would be quite life-changing. But I feel it's working out to your highest good this way. So yeah, your worst fear, especially since this Tower card came out right after the 9 of Swords, your worst fear, it looks like, is not going to come true for you in April. So things are working out for you. The 5 of Swords. Okay, so what I'm feeling with this 5 of Swords is that you finally have victory over something that was almost like driving you to the point of just where there was nothing else that you could think about. I do feel like you're receiving some kind of communication regarding this in April. And these mountains that you've been climbing, that you've been stuck on without a way to get down from the mountain, that's changing for you. There's a sense of victory here, a sense of freedom, and a sense of letting go or being able to move past something that was a massive distraction in your life. And it's interesting, it's interesting, I can't talk. It's interesting that you have the 5 of Swords below the purification card, because once this purification happens, that's when your life switches very quickly for the positive, because you're letting go of this here. See, yeah, the Ace of Pentacles. So you do have a new beginning that's coming in for you. And again, I'm picking up those two things that you're going to be successful with. You're going to be successful with an outcome. You're also going to be successful with creating your future. Interesting that you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles here, because like I said, it feels, the energy is like you're getting a second chance with something. You have a new lease on life. You're planting the seeds for your future. You have stability now. You can actually think about your future now and what that looks like. The Nine of Cups. See the sense of freedom? I feel like you're hitting the jackpot with something. Something turns out so favorably for you. It feels so amazing. And you have a lot of plans for your future. So there is something going on here with, it's kind of the opposite of what you had with these three cards here, the Five of Swords, the Tower, and the Nine of Swords. This incredible worry that you had that something wasn't going to work out in your favor. It was an incredible amount of energy that you were putting into that worry and that anxiety. And so what's happening is that energy is now shifting into something positive for you. Also, you having more passion for something, more energy for something, more excitement for something than you've ever had before. So huge transformation is coming in for you. The Star card. Wow. Your biggest wish for April, it looks like it's coming true for you. It's something very, very close to your heart. Something that you have been, I feel, praying on, manifesting, if you've been manifesting, hoping for, thinking about, it happens for you. And, you know, it's really interesting that this row here, so you have the Star card, Ten of Cups, and a win-win outcome is forecast. Okay. And then here you have conclusions are within reach. The conclusion is a win-win outcome, but the conclusion leads to the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So the conclusion leads to a very positive new lease on life for you. Let's see what your last card is. The Six of Wands. This is victory. This is you achieving something that you worked so hard for, something that you were so passionate about. This is celebration. This is so powerful. Really, really powerful. And it's interesting that you have the laurel here because that does indicate victory and success. And then you have, I don't know if this is technically laurel here, but that's what it's making me think of. So you literally start your reading with success and you end with success. It's just amazing to me. And I really feel like this is the beginning for you. So it feels like something is coming to an end, something that you didn't have a conclusion on yet. You're getting a conclusion and you're getting a new start. And you're going to be very successful with this new start. And this new start could absolutely have something to do with your purpose in life. There's a pivotal point. There's no doubt in my mind you're at a pivotal point in your life. And going through this very, very stressful situation, I feel activated a piece of your destiny. Possibly it activated your purpose in life. And, you know, maybe for some of you, that's why it happened, because you needed to go through something that was a little bit stressful to kind of shake things up in your life, excuse me, and make you realize that I'm supposed to be going down this path. I'm supposed to be putting 100% of my focus into this new thing. You know, maybe not all of you, but that is something that I was feeling. So that's what I'm seeing for you here. I wish you so much luck in April. If you like this reading, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 2. You have the Ocean Jasper, and this is your Emperor card from the Wandering Star Tarot. So I'll put this back in the deck, and we'll start with your Oracle cards. What can you tell us for group number 2, please, for April 2026. The Goat and Willow, overcoming obstacles. Okay, well, that's a good start. So I feel like there's definitely a sense of a breakthrough that's happening here for you. And it's bringing you a sense of feeling lighter. Like, I feel like you're literally getting out of a very tricky, kind of sticky situation. It's going to bring balance to your life. And I feel like it just, I'm getting a sense of you being stuck in something and trying to figure out your way out. But it almost feels like the more that you struggled with that, the more stuck you would become. But something is happening in April to, it's almost like something gives you a helping hand to get out of a situation that you weren't quite sure how to get out of. You couldn't see the way forward. And then I feel once that happens, you're really kind of making an upward climb with something, or just maybe in your life in general. So here you have the lizard and pitcher plant with stagnation. Yeah, absolutely. For sure, you had stagnation. That's exactly what I'm feeling here, or what I was feeling here, but you're overcoming that. So this is so positive for you. And it's really interesting that you have the pitcher plant here, because it, it looks like flames. So you're getting your energy back, and I just feel like there's going to be a pretty significant transformation that happens for you in April when you overcome these obstacles. So let's take a look at your other cards and see what that might be. All right, what else can you tell us? Okay, these 3 cards kind of jumped in my hand, so we're going to take all 3 of them. Have faith in your dreams. Wow, waxing crescent moon. And look, you have the butterfly right here. And then there's a little bee here. So yeah, definitely you were in a place of stagnation with a dream that you have. And, it just feels like, I'm not sure how to explain this, because it feels like you were stuck in something. And the more you struggled, the more your thoughts and your ideas kind of became muddled, so that there was just like zero productivity happening with something. There was definitely a sense of stagnation, but I'm seeing something going on in your mind where your anxiety is just kind of eased away by something, and there's a huge transformation that's coming in for you regarding a dream that you have. So you're no longer stuck waiting for something to happen. You're no longer stuck waiting for answers, and you're no longer kind of trapped within a situation. Excuse me, I almost feel like there's new growth here, like it's springtime. There's a fresh, like a breath of fresh air coming into your life. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. This card was in group number 1. So you're seeing the answers, and there's something going on where your anxiety is just kind of melting away. You can see things clearly. It feels like, that's kind of the visual I was getting. It's similar to the visual I was getting. Imagine if you were in a very, very dense forest where you couldn't see anything. So further in, like here, you're coming to the end of the forest, but further in, it feels like you got lost. You didn't know which way to turn. You felt like you were trapped in this forest. And the more you tried to get out, the more you panicked, because you got so turned around. You didn't even know what direction you were going in or what direction you came from. But then it feels like something comes in to help you along the way. Like then the moon shows up, and then you can see the way forward. You're receiving answers, or your intuition is starting to kick in and you're starting to see the way forward. And I feel here, with this tree kind of falling down here, I feel that there's something going on in your life that is reaching an ending, almost like this tree is dead, so it's falling over. So something seems to be reaching an ending for you. I mean, obviously you have conclusions are within reach, But I feel like something that may have been decaying, or something that may have been, in a sense, decaying your mind because of the anxiety and the stress level, that's being removed. Because I'm seeing like cleaning up the dead brush. So something is kind of being swept away for you, right? For you. So something is happening to make it easier for you. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Yes, yes. Amazing. Your cards are just absolutely on point, I feel. So let's go through what you have here. Overcoming an obstacle, right? We're seeing that here. Stagnation. So I feel that your obstacle partly had to do with stagnation. So it either was stagnation or an obstacle was creating stagnation in your life. Spirit is saying, don't give up on your dreams, because there's a shift that's going to happen for you. And because we're looking at April 2026, I feel this shift is going to happen for you in April, right? Conclusions are within reach. That's exactly why you should have faith in your dreams. Something's coming to an end for you. You have 2 cards here indicating an ending. Actually, 3 cards here. So if you're going through a very, very difficult time, just keep this in mind, okay? Keep this in mind. Have faith that things are going to work out for you. Spirit, what is the most important thing that group number 2 needs to hear today from this deck, please? I feel like it's actually these 2 here. Is that 2? No, it is the top one though. All right, there. This one wants to come out too, so let's just go with it. I try to just get 2 for you because I don't want this to be too long. Let's see what you have. 8th house, I can't talk. I don't know what my problem is today. 8th house, metamorphosis, death, and rebirth. And look at how you have the butterfly here. Amazing. Absolutely amazing for you. So, you know, the 8th house is Scorpio, if you don't know. So that could have some sort of significance for you. You may be a Scorpio. Maybe something is happening for you or started to happen for you in Scorpio season. Or maybe what is ending here will allow you to move forward with something. And then by Scorpio season, you're really starting to see things pick up for you. So maybe the time from April to October, November is going to be important for you in, you know, regarding your situation. Let's see what else we have for you. Lunar eclipse, culmination, release, illumination. Do you see what's happening? This is amazing. You're releasing the difficult times. Illumination, isn't that basically what I was saying here with conclusions are within your reach? It's so amazing to me. Really amazing what's going on here. All right, let's look at your last one here. New moon, creation, intention, and potential. Do you see? This is exactly why Spirit says don't give up hope. Things are going to work out for you. You're going to start creating new circumstances in your life, new situations, and you have amazing potential for a new beginning. Wow. Wow. Now I see why you needed all 3 of these cards. You know, I go with it. I was trying to just get these 2, but this one just absolutely was like, no, I need to come out too. All right, let's look at your tarot cards. What else can you tell us for group number 2, please? We're looking at April 2026. What's going on for group number 2 in April 2026, please? All right. Oh, here's your Emperor card again. That is amazing. So it definitely feels like you're overcoming an obstacle, right? Because that's the card right above here, right above the Emperor card. And then the card here, it says law and order. So law and order is being restored for you. And because it does say law and order, this could have something to do with the legal system in some form or in some shape or form. especially because this card was in group number 1. In group number 1, there was an element of something legal going on there. So maybe if you're interested, you might want to watch group number 1. It's completely up to you, only if you're called to. So I feel that order is restored in your life in April, and then you can think about moving forward with something. I feel like you have a great plan for your life. You have a great plan for your future. You're back in control of things, and you are really, really just incredibly focused on the next phase of your life, what that's going to look like. You know, it's interesting you have the Emperor and the new moon here, because I'm definitely getting a similar energy here with, you know, planning something, wanting to create something in your life, definitely having that intention. And Spirit is saying that there is incredible potential for you moving forward. So here you have the 9 of Cups. Yeah, so you're definitely reaching a level of success in April. Something that you've been hoping for, something that you've been waiting for is happening for you. I feel that there could be tears of joy because you're so overwhelmed with this positive energy, feeling very, very positive about your future and the way that things are starting to move for you. So I definitely feel like you're creating a new path for yourself. It feels like the emotions are running really high in a couple different areas here in April. So you're incredibly happy about something. You've been very, very successful with something. You've released some kind of baggage. I feel like some kind of emotional baggage that you've released. So you feel much, much lighter and you're more focused on things. There's a lot of energy around your future, whereas before it felt like your energy was slowly being drained from you. Just your optimism was being drained, your happiness was being drained. So all of that is definitely shifting for you in April. See, now you have the 10 of Cups. So this is you feeling on top of the world, feeling like you have won something. You know, it's the end of this tough cycle that you are in. And so, you know, I'm definitely feeling a sense of metamorphosis. You're seeing all the possibilities now, because before you were very stagnant. Whereas now you're free, and it's almost like the world is your oyster. You can do what you want. And this is your time to shine. I feel like this is your time to really make some significant changes in your life. I'm feeling like some of you may have gone through a period of introspection. I feel, you know, it's kind of like when the chips are down, you realize who your true friends are. So some of you may have been a little bit down and out, and certain people weren't there to support you. But those people who were there to support you, I feel that you may be developing an even stronger connection with those people. And you may be reprioritizing things in your life, saying no to certain things, welcoming other things in, taking chances that maybe you wouldn't have taken before, you know, kind of living life to the fullest, and just really getting the most that you can out of life. So you have the 6 of Pentacles. There's definitely a sense of balance, whereas before something was like either just out of your grasp, just out of your reach, or something just in general was just completely out of balance, just completely out of balance. So this could have something to do with your finances. Maybe your finances were in a place of stagnation. Maybe with have faith in your dreams, maybe you started something and you were having all of these obstacles trying to get something off the ground, and it just wasn't happening for you, and you were about to give up on something, and Spirit is saying, no, wait a minute. Have faith in your dreams. Don't give up, because you're about to receive something. I just heard you're about to receive a gift. So this could be a literal gift that some of you are going to receive, or this could just be, you know, a gift from the universe, or gift of insight, something like that. This could also be a new opportunity that's coming in for you. Some of you are going to be making your own opportunities. The Queen of Cups. Yeah, you're looking at things differently. I feel like the way that you're looking at your life, once this tough cycle ends for you, you're seeing life differently. Your priorities are being rearranged. I feel like certain things are going to take a back seat now. Other things are going to be in the forefront of your mind. And there's something like your path forward is being illuminated, especially because you're seeing things differently. So I feel that your approach to life might be changing for you in April in a really positive way. The Two of Swords. Yeah, see, you were stuck. So there's definitely something going on here where your thoughts may have been muddled because you were so anxious about something, where like that's all you could think about. You couldn't really focus on anything else. And I feel that, so there's definitely a delay happening here. There's a decision here that needs to be made. But I feel that it almost feels like the decision, maybe there were two decisions that needed to be made, and the first decision may have been out of your hands. And until you knew what that first decision was, you couldn't make a decision about your future. Others of you may have been in control of this decision in a sense, but it's kind of like, well, so have faith in your dreams. It's kind of like, well, if this thing doesn't happen over here, then I'm just going to give up on the whole thing entirely. So the choice was in your hands, but how things were going to progress forward that leads up to your choice, I feel, was out of your hands. So it definitely feels like for the people watching this, something somewhere along the line with this situation was out of your hands, where it's like, okay, well, if I see success with my venture by the end of April, then I'll keep doing what I'm doing. If I don't see success with my venture by the end of April, then I'm going to give up and quit what I'm doing. So you may not have any control over if somebody picks up your idea, if somebody likes your idea, if you gain popularity. So that would determine the outcome. Or somebody could be saying yes or no to something. And so until you know if their answer is yes or no, you are just stuck. So I definitely feel like this delay that you have here is coming to an end in April. So for some of you, or it'll be very, very, very close. If this delay is not completely over in April, I feel that what's happening in that case is that someone or something on the other side reaches a conclusion in April, but they have not notified you yet. So that notification may come like the first few days or the first week of May. So a little tricky for some of you, but definitely things are falling into place in April for you to let go of this delay. All right, see what I'm saying? You have the World card here. So this is definitely showing that a delay is coming to an end. You will be able to move forward one way or the other, one direction or the other, because I feel a lot of you just want an answer. You just want to know one way or the other, which way is this going to go, so I am not just sitting here stagnant. You have this huge snake down here, so you're definitely letting go of something and stepping out of a very difficult time. I feel it was very, very uncomfortable for you. But there's going to be a reward for you having faith in your dreams. All right, the High Priestess. Yeah, there's absolutely something that you couldn't see. You have the snake again here. That's very, very interesting. And also the skull here. So I'm seeing so many things about transformation. I'm seeing things about receiving the answers that you need to move forward one way or the other. And it's definitely bringing me back to conclusions are within reach here. I just feel like you're so close. to discovering what it is that you need to move forward. And there's something else with this card. Give me just a second here. What is it with the High Priestess? Well, things are coming into balance. There's something else with this card, and I'm not sure what it is yet. So let's move on, and we'll come back to that. The Five of Cups. Okay, so you're going from this here, the Five of Cups energy, which is sorrow, despair, giving up on something, losing something, feeling like you're going to have to leave something behind, to the Ten of Cups right here, which is success, happiness, balance, feeling like you are exactly where you want to be. So, you know, April for you might have some ups and downs. Your emotions might be going up and going down, and then going up and going down. You may be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth regarding something. And it feels like it's kind of like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to give up on my dreams. And then the next day you're like, no, I'm going to keep going forward. And then 2 days later, you're like, no, this isn't working out. I'm going to give up. And then you're like, no, I feel better today. I'm not going to give up. So it's kind of like a back and forth, but it works out in your favor. And I'm feeling that the sorrow is coming from the delay that I'm feeling with the Two of Swords. And it's also like, I can't take not knowing. I can't just take sitting here in limbo, because the Five of Cups is connected to the High Priestess, where there's a lack of knowing something. There's a lack of knowledge or information. But I truly feel that that's changing for you. Okay, so you have the Five of Wands. And it's interesting because in the traditional Five of Wands, there is kind of strife going on. There's a lack of communication going on. There's a lack of organization going on. Something is definitely out of balance in the more traditional Five of Wands, but I'm not seeing that here. I'm seeing that there is a lot of information being exchanged here. I'm seeing that there's cooperation, there's reciprocity, there's definitely balance here, which is similar to what you have with the Six of Pentacles. So I feel with the Five of Wands that you can kind of let your guard down a little bit in April, and that there's going to be possibly communication coming in for you that's going to break this stagnation that you've been dealing with. The Eight of Cups. I feel like you're rising above something. You're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're leaving something behind. See, it's kind of like you're going from being stuck and nothing going on. So here it almost feels like with the Two of Swords, your hands are tied. You can't move one way or the other because you're waiting for this cycle to end, the situation to end, whatever it is for you. And then here, it feels like you have a lot going on. There's a lot of activity here. There's, you know, here it says change, shift, and then change again here. So you have a lot of cards indicating a metamorphosis, death and rebirth, a shift, a change. So definitely, you know, we're talking about obstacles and stagnation here. You're coming out of that. There's a lot of activity happening here. You're leaving behind a very, very difficult time in your life. The King of Swords. Okay, so this is really interesting that you started your tarot cards with the Emperor and you end with the King of Swords. Because what I'm seeing here is decisions are being made. This could be a decision that's out of your control. So let's say if the King of Swords is the deciding factor in your first decision, right? So I talked about that earlier. Some of you have zero control over the first part of the situation, but you're receiving some sort of communication, whether it's in your mind, you're like, well, whether it's negative or positive, just let me know one way so I can move on. And that's what's, you're receiving that here. That's what's going to end your cycle. But I really feel that this is going to be a positive conclusion for you because you have so many cards that indicate that, right? Especially have faith in your dreams. So that's what I'm seeing for you here. I feel that by the end of April, with the King of Swords, you get your power back. So not only do you get your power back, but you have clarity on the situation. You have a good grasp on this outcome, on overcoming this obstacle. I feel you're taking the sword and you're literally cutting away this obstacle that you had. You're looking forward to the future. You have your power back, your strength back, all of that. And that is what I'm seeing for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 3. You have the orange calcite, and this is your Emperor card from the Wanderer's Tarot. So I'll put this back in the deck, and we'll start with your oracle cards. Oh, thank you. Spirit, what is the most... Okay, well, there we go. I was going to ask what the most important thing is, but Spirit is ready. All right, so we have the chipmunk and laurel and success. This was in group number 1. So you have success coming up for you in April regarding something. I feel this is something that you've been looking forward to, something you've been preparing for, because I can see here the chipmunk has a piece of the laurel in its hand. So I feel this is also something that you've been really, really hoping for, like hoping for this outcome that you're going to see, or something transpiring in April. I feel it's really, really going to bring you a lot of happiness. And I'm seeing, for one reason or another, I'm seeing a chipmunk like running really, really fast across a road. So this could be something that you need to either get on the other side of a problem or to progress forward with something, or it's going to propel you into a new phase of a plan that you have or something like that. Some of you might be moving too. Or maybe that's what it is, like moving from one side of the road to the other. So some of you might be moving. Interesting. Let's see what your other card is. Oh, wow. Ooh, I just got like such a powerful feeling here. The moth and eucalyptus and ending. Ooh. Some of you are moving, either metaphorically or literally. You're moving. Okay, so you have a successful ending to something. This could be completing something successfully that was like planned, so it had a planned ending. So let's say that if you were planning, let's just say if you're planning to move somewhere, you had planned on quitting your job so that you can take a planned move somewhere. And it looks like it's going to be a successful ending leading into a successful new beginning. That's the energy that I'm feeling here. I also feel like you're very protected, but I also feel like something that's coming to an end may have limited you if you stayed in that situation. So it's not that where you were was bad. It's just like if you stayed there any longer, you may have become stagnant because it's just time for you to move on. So let's just say, for instance, just because this is a very, very simple example, let's say that you're finishing up a program you took some classes, or maybe you're getting a degree or something like that. Could you stay there and continue to take more classes? Probably. But is it time for you to move on so that you can, achieve new goals? Yes. So, that's just an analogy. I know that not everybody is taking a class or in school or anything like that. So let's see what else we have. Okay, did you see these cards right here kind of jump out? And I think you have 3, so let's see what they are. Nothing will come of the situation, void, of course, moon. Okay, so this is what I was literally just saying. I have to laugh a little bit because I literally just said this. if you could stay where you are connected to this ending, but you would be so limited. And yeah, maybe you had a great time here, but it's also time to move on. And also maybe some of you are feeling apprehension about leaving. Maybe you've been very, very successful in a particular situation and you're saying, well, I don't know, should I stay? Should I go? And Spirit is saying, look, you've done everything that you can in this situation. You were as successful as you could have been in the situation. You have more success to look forward to. Nothing will come of the situation if you stay where you are. So for you in April, it feels like it's all about growth, letting go of the old and embracing the new. As uncomfortable as that may be, I feel like you have amazing things in your future regarding changes that are going to take place in April. Didn't I? Okay. So it says expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. Didn't I literally say changes that are going to take place in April? I mean, look at how amazing this is. So do you see what I'm saying? Nothing will come of the situation if you don't allow this ending to happen. I feel this is a natural ending, whether it feels like it or not. Whether you made the choice to end things or someone or something else decided to end things, it feels very natural. That's the way I'm feeling the energy from the universe, that it was just meant to be. That doesn't mean it's not a painful ending. That doesn't mean that it's going to take some time for some of you to adjust into a new beginning. And some of you are going to be like, no, I know that I want this ending. I know nothing else would come of this, and I'm ready to move on. And in that case, that's great because it's going to be easier for you. But some of you need a little bit of time to adjust to this change. But look at the powerful change that's coming in for you. It's quite amazing. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Ooh. There are a lot of rewards that you're going to receive if you embrace this change. So, and this really speaks to what I said earlier, how some of you may have been like taking classes and you are putting in all this hard work. And could you continue to take classes? Yeah, of course. But you've already put in a lot of hard work here. So it's time to embrace these changes and allow the universe to reward you for your hard work. What is the most important card? I feel it's this one. Lunar eclipse, culmination, release, and illumination. Yeah, I think this card was in group number 2. Interesting. So yeah, culmination. It's like you're reaching the end of a cycle. Release. It's time for you to release something. And illumination. So some of you may not know what your path looks like going forward, but I feel that as soon as you release something, as soon as something closes, like a door closes, you have an ending. I feel that you have this new moon eclipse here where very, very quickly you start to see what your next move is, what your next step is. And some of you are wiping the slate completely clean. I feel some of you are moving somewhere or changing careers or jobs, or some major situation in your life is changing and you're not sure exactly what all those steps look like, how things are going to fall into place for you. But I feel that as soon as that door closes, Spirit just kind of shows up for you and shows you the way forward. What else can you tell us for group number 3, please, for April 2026? All right. And let me fix these a little bit. I feel like your cards are kind of... There we go. Okay. The Judgment card. Wow. Okay. So you have a massively powerful shift happening in your life. You have it here. You have it here. It's almost like you're being awakened to your highest potential, to your true path in life. And, it's interesting that you have illumination here because I feel something is being illuminated here. You're realizing where your success lies. And I feel you're realizing that your future success does not reach its fullest potential where this ending is coming in. So wherever you were, there's some sort of limitations that were being placed on you in that environment. And I feel that if you didn't know that before, you're realizing that in April. And this is the perfect time. It's happening at the perfect time because there's some sort of planetary alignment that's coming into your vision, that's coming into your, like you're starting to recognize this. You're recognizing what the universe already saw. And there's really no denying it once you see it. And I feel here, it looks like you're getting ready to take a leap of faith. You're saying, okay, let's release this stagnant energy, anything that is holding me back, let's release that. And I'm going to take a deep breath and move forward. That's what I'm seeing here with this card. It's very, very powerful. The Sun card. Now, it's interesting that you have the Sun card, and it's the Child here, which is, you know, traditional on the Sun card, but some Sun cards are different because it's this sense of being reborn almost. It's kind of like remember earlier, just a few minutes ago, I said something about having a blank slate, and there's movement forward with something. So I feel some of you are starting over with something. Like I said, it could be you're moving somewhere, it could be new career, new job, new lease on life for one reason or another. And you're ready and you're very protected. You're absolutely very, very protected from distractions, from anything that might potentially harm you. You're protected from roadblocks, anything like that. So just know that if you have kind of like an unexpected ending to something, just know that that was put in place to lead you to a better place or a better direction. The Queen of Wands. So you definitely have a new direction. There's something about where you're going. Something is here that was lacking in your prior environment. So, this, you know, I could put it this way. It feels like, let's just say, for instance, if you were in an environment before, it may have been working out for you just because it was consistent and you knew what to expect. But at the same time, it was also limiting to you in one form or another. But where you're going, I feel that you have more control of things. I feel you have a greater sense of independence. I feel like you really kind of step into your own power. And it feels like if you have been trying to create something or get something off the ground, I feel like you have a lot of success with that in April because something has been released. Something that was a distraction or something that was holding you back has been released from your life. So that's giving you more room to focus on whatever this is that you have so much passion for. So here you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, you know, for some of you, I feel like you were holding on to something that you needed to release. I feel like some of you may be waiting for a sign or wanting to have someone else make the decision for you because you didn't want to have the responsibility of that decision. I also feel that some of you were waiting for answers. You could have had a major delay with something where you felt like you couldn't really move forward one way or the other because you didn't have the answers. You didn't have the information that you needed. And this has really been a common theme in all of these readings in April, where it feels like there was something that was keeping everybody kind of stuck, but you're breaking free from that. So I definitely feel like a delay is coming to an end for you. I feel that if you have been continuing to keep moving forward, you've been staying focused, you've been trying to remain detached from the situation in some shape or form, I feel that you're going to be rewarded for that. And I also feel like A new direction is opening up for you. And Spirit says, just continue doing your best, trying to stay grounded, trying to stay calm, and you will see a massive, massive change happen. So here you have the Empress. All right, so this is really, really positive news. And I feel like this Empress is reading something here. So you're receiving some sort of information after a delay. You're putting things together. Things are making sense for you now. And I feel that a plan that you have regarding your future success, I feel that plan is going to start to come into action. Like you're going to be able to take action with this plan that you have for your future, where you see yourself going, what you want to be doing. And it's interesting to me how you have the Queen of Wands here and the Empress here, but here you have the Two of Swords. So some of you may be choosing between two things that are both very, very positive, but I feel that there's one thing over the other that will stand out a little bit more for you in April. So definitely there's going to be an end for anyone who is stuck in between two things, and you're going to have success. You're going to have great success with that thing that you do choose. This change, it's going to bring you, I feel, a lot of success in a lot of different ways. I feel that emotionally, you feel like you made the right choice. Financially, you see, quite literally, you see that you made the right choice, and you just feel very grounded. You feel like you are on the road to making changes in your life that are going to be very successful for you. You have the Five of Swords. See, you're leaving something behind that was basically an impossible situation because there was something within this situation that was outside of your control. Someone or something may have been very difficult to manage or very difficult to work with or talk to or have discussions with. That's exactly why you have nothing will come of the situation. That's exactly what you have here with the Five of Swords. These two cards are definitely related here, and this is what is coming to an end. So you can see there's a person here, right here, and then there's a person over here. So you're walking away from something that was a losing battle. I feel that you're kind of drawing a line in the sand saying, okay, enough is enough. I have been working so hard in the situation and nothing has come of this. However, when you leave this situation, this is when another door opens for you. And where you're going, it's so easy. There's such a sense of ease with this new door. There's an ease with opening the door. There's an ease as you step into the door. Everything just flows very easily. There's easy communication. Things just flow for you, and things, I feel, really pick up speed for you. So you have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, this is interesting because you have the three people here and you have three people here. This is literally a visual of what I just said. Here, nothing was working for you. You weren't receiving recognition. Another party or aspect to the situation wasn't beneficial to you. It wasn't working with you. Here, everyone's working together. Here, people are noticing the hard work that you've put into something. People are definitely appreciative of what you're doing. It's literally night and day. And over here also, there's a lot of room for growth, and there's definitely recognition, something that you're very, very passionate about. You're receiving recognition for that. So it's almost like a change in environment is all that you needed to achieve success. And so that's literal or metaphorical for some of you. Some of you let go of something. I feel some of you are cutting away excess baggage. You're getting rid of things that were slowing you down. The Ace of Cups. See, this is your new beginning. Isn't it interesting? This is so fascinating to me how the Ace of Cups, which is your new beginning, is going to be right here. So you have an ending. The Moth and Eucalyptus is your ending. And then you have the Sun card and you have the Ace of Cups. Some of you are getting a new stream of income. some of you are definitely switching careers or getting a promotion or something like that, and it's going to be very, very fulfilling for you. Let me see. Some of you are starting your own business, I feel, or you're going to enter a partnership with someone, like starting a partnership with someone. Some of you, I feel, could be going to a more boutique location. What I mean by that is, let's say if you are, let's say you're in advertising or you're in the legal field or something like that. And let's say that you worked for a company that had like 5,000 employees. They were all over the world. And some of you are going to be going to a more boutique location where maybe there's like, 3 to 15 people working there, something like that. So some of you are, in a sense, downsizing so that you can upsize, where you will have more opportunities to get noticed. You'll also have more opportunities to kind of do your own thing, to shine also, is what I'm seeing. So yeah, keep that in mind. Some of you so when I say downsize, it's not necessarily downsizing as a negative thing, because it actually turns out very, very positive for you. And some of you could be doing the opposite. Some of you could be going from a small boutique firm into, the firm with 5,000 employees all over the world. And it's just something about changing the market or changing, something like that that's going to work out for you. So I know those are two opposite things, but after I said the first thing, I'm seeing like that's probably the majority of you where you're going bigger to smaller, at least to start. But then there's a few of you on the fringe side of this where you're going from smaller to bigger. And I think the reason why is because for all of you, making these changes is leading to something much, much bigger, but some of you need to downsize first and then you will expand. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so you have the wheel. Yeah, so this is the Wheel of Fortune. So whatever these changes are that you're making in your life, this is absolutely meant to happen at this time. And as it's happening, everything is coming into working order for you. So I feel before there was definitely a struggle. It's like you were struggling to get something moving. And then you have the lightning here. So definitely the lightning is pointing to that ending. It's making me think of the Tower card. So some of you will have a Tower card moment where this is completely out of your control. The universe is saying, look, nothing's going to come of the situation. You need to make these changes. We're going to bring about an ending here so that you can step into alignment with where you're supposed to be for your greatest success. So that could be why I'm seeing some of you are downsizing first, and then you're going to basically upsize, if that makes sense. But there's a shift in your environment. But you have the 2 lightning strikes coming from different directions here. So what that is showing me is, like I think I said this earlier, as soon as that door closes, another one opens almost immediately. You can take as long as you need. So if you need a little bit of time to recalibrate, but Spirit says don't give up on your idea, because there's a massive, massive shift that's happening where some of you, things are going to look like they're falling apart just so that you can rebuild in a different environment, but it's going to end up working out so well in your favor. See, remember here, you have an ending and you have success. So an ending is leading to success. And some of you are like, no, I actually want this ending. And that's amazing, because it's going to be a little bit easier for you to make this transition. But either way, it's definitely a change in your favor. Okay, here's your Tower card. Exactly what I was saying with the Wheel of Fortune. So when you have these 2 cards together, this is a powerful, powerful shift. And then when you have this card along with these 2, this is a massive transformation in your life. Massive, massive. So another thing that's interesting to me, because I have kind of talked a little bit about the Tower card already, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But look here, how you have expect a powerful change here. And then, so that's in the middle of nothing will come of the situation. So this is kind of pointing to your past here. Nothing's going to come of your past situation. And the past is ending. And then your hard work is paying off, but your hard work doesn't pay off until you embrace this powerful change. And going back to the Tower card for a minute, you can see the hand here, the universe pouring something into the Tower. So I feel that that is causing that shakeup. That is causing a release of things down here that no longer belong in your life because they were holding you back, because they were causing this delay right here, because they were causing this strife that you had over here, kind of being up against a brick wall where no matter what you do, you're not making any progress. That is what is changing for you. The Ten of Pentacles. See, without this shift, you have potential to remain here where you're always questioning things. You're always striving for better, but you're never really reaching it to your highest potential, which you are receiving here. And wherever this is, this shift, this change that's happening in your life, it has a lot of longevity. It's very, very stable. This is a very good card to get after the Tower card because the Tower is unstable. But the Ten of Pentacles is one of the most stable cards in the deck. And then it's right below the Empress card. So I feel with the Empress, your dreams are coming true. I almost feel like maybe here in this book, you wrote something down. So maybe you were writing down your hopes and your dreams. You're writing down your goals, a business plan, a plan for your future. And it's being realized with this Ten of Pentacles. So let's look at your last card. So you have the Four of Cups. Okay, do you see how these cups are cracking back here? You're coming to a realization in April if you're not already there. You're realizing that a situation needs to change. Excuse me. So a situation that you're in, no one's hearing what you're saying. People aren't listening to you. And I feel that it's getting louder and louder and louder until you just can't ignore it anymore. You also may have two opportunities that are coming in for you, and you're going to have to make a decision between those two things. You are going to make the right decision. I feel like you're basically coming to a crossroads in April. Everything is going to work out to your favor. It does feel like you could have some ups and downs in April, but take this ending with stride. Just kind of move through it. Spirit says that's the easiest way for you to get through this. And like I said, again, some of you are like, no, I want this ending. I can't wait. Get me out of the situation. I'm embracing these changes. And that's great as well. So just know that you're not stuck in the situation. You will be moving past this and embracing really positive new beginnings. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching.